Hello, I'm SnipingIsFun, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you my review of Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. Now, basically, this game was originally released in Japan it was never supposed to be released outside of Japan, like a year ago. And then they decided to upgrade the game, add new characters and all this other stuff to it, and online, and they released it worldwide now. New characters and all that. Um, from what I played this game since it came out, it's a pretty good game actually. I never played, I never played any of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. Unless I think I probably played a demo of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I don't know for sure now. And I think I might have played maybe I might have played part of SNK vs. Capcom. I don't know for sure about that either. I might have, but I don't know for sure. I think I might have played demos of the games in the past, or I might have played I think I might have played a version of Marvel vs. Capcom over at my friend's house many years ago, but I don't know for sure now. But basically, on to the review. The gameplay, it's basically like a 2D kind of 3D-ish kind of game. Like the characters, the backgrounds have a certain 3D-ish style to them, but the gameplay is in 2D basically. It's kind of like Street Fighter 4, although I haven't played that, but that kind of has a similar feel too. Like it's a 2D game in a 3D kind of world. And it's pretty fun. You fight. There's like 3 buttons, I think. There's like light, medium, and strong attacks or something like that. And you can like your ultimate attacks and everything, and build up like your power. Basically, that's the whole idea of it. The presentation, the graphics of the game, they kind of have like an anime type to them. They kind of like like an anime type feel to them. Basically, it's kind of like a slightly cartoonish kind of anime style that each character is in, and the style of the game, it's actually quite interesting. Let's see if I can get a picture of it here. Let's get a picture of the game here from the box. Okay, well, move. Like right there, that kind of style. Basically, it's a pretty good graphic style. I think it's similar to like what the older games like Marvel vs. Capcom were, just a little more like cartoonish anime style since they had like Tatsunoko in there now. The sound of the game, from the voice actors are all in Japanese except for Frank West. He's the only one in the game that speaks English. So basically, they didn't change the voice acting from the original version of the game, but really, that's not a bad thing. A lot of the Japanese voice acting are pretty good, and if they actually did get the English voice acting, I did watch like one episode that got the English version of Gashman G-Force. The show was good, and I'm trying to find more episodes of it, but the voice acting was horrible, pretty much, especially since it was voice acted back then. And I did watch about 12 episodes of the English version of Technoman. It's called Technoman in the English version. And that voice acting was better, but still could have been better. And if they did get Speed Racer into the game, that voice acting was pretty good too. I grew up with that show. Maybe he could be in the sequel if they make a second one. But the voice actors are pretty good. And Frank West, although he's not the original voice actor from the Dead Rising game, it's pretty good. I think it's okay. And basically the background music to the levels are pretty good as well. As far as I heard, like in the original game, each character had like their own song, but this one, since they couldn't get the rights to it, I've heard over the internet, they couldn't get the rights to the characters' like music. They basically just had each level had its own song, and a lot of the music actually in this game is actually pretty good actually, and it's actually kind of some really good music. The story of the game, basically, each character has their own story. You get to go into there's an arcade mode, a survival mode, and a time attack mode. I've only really played arcade. I didn't play much of I played only a little bit, like one time of survival, and I tried out time attack. And basically, that's pretty good. You basically pick like a character and your support character, and whoever you beat the game, each character has like a story at the ending. They have like a slideshow of like text, like a little like storyline ending for whoever you beat the game with, whoever you beat the final boss Yami with, who has 3 stages, and it can be the boss is not really that hard, but But it's challenging. It gives you a lot of attacks, and you have to be able to survive 3 stages against it. But it's not that hard. I've heard people say that the Japanese version had the boss battle against Yami was a whole lot harder. And if you know who Yami is, the person's from Okami. Although I really need to play that game again. I really want to play. I'm gonna have to get that on the Wii, hopefully one day. I only rented it on PS2. I'm gonna have to play Okami again. I only barely played it. It was a pretty good game actually. And basically onto the multiplayer. I didn't get to play this game with like other people in the same room, but I did get to play online with one person from IGN, Mataville or something like that. His name was, and a few people online, like random people that I put, that in just random battles. I've been playing against people. And when it comes to online, you can either pick a free battle or a ranked battle. Like when you just free battle, you can just face a random person online, free, and no matter if you win or lose, it doesn't really matter much except getting like your rankings up. Then a ranked battle, you can like earn points and like get on the leaderboards online. And when you play a game, you can also do if you want to do like a regional battle or a worldwide battle. You have to set your like status to that, and then you could face people just from your region or from around the world. And basically, and after a match, you could decide if you want to try to become a rival with the person. In order to become a friend, you have to use the friend codes, of course. But to get a person to be on your rivals list, you can face them, and after you're done fighting them, you can ask them if you want to be a rival, and you can face them later on online. So basically, the online's pretty good. The lag. I only had one little lag battle. That was the first battle against Mataville. Besides that, it has a really good online. It's better than a lot of games on the Wii that have online, and it's fun actually. So basically, in the end, it has great. The gameplay to the game is really good. And if you're a fan of any kind of fighting game, Street Fighter or something like that, especially the 2D fighters, and if you're or like the old Capcom versus games, you would be a fan of this game. It has a pretty good roster. It has like I don't know how many characters per roster, but they took out the genie guy from the original and they put in new characters to even up 3 new Tatsunokos and 2 new Capcoms. Capcom's new characters are Frank West from Dead Rising and Zero from Mega Man X. From Tatsunoko, it's who's it now? Joe the Condor? Yeah, Joe the Condor from Gatchaman. Yatterman 2. And Tekkaman Blade. And basically the characters on the actual roster from Tatsunoko, there's Duranjo, there's Ken the Eagle, June the Swan, Kashan, I pronounced that name wrong, and Yatterman, number 1. And from Capcom side, there's Alex, Chun-Li, Ryu, Batsu, Mega Man, Volnut Roll, Beautiful Joe, Saki, and all this stuff. And there's 2 big characters, the Gold Lighten for Tatsunoko and a giant machine from Lost Planet for Capcom. And it's a pretty decent roster. There's decent unlockables. There's like a store every time you do like a single player like arcade or whatever, and depending on how far you get money, you get zenny, and you can spend in the store to unlock like stuff for the characters, like not profile stuff, but more like sound, audio, and stuff like that. Alternate, more colored costumes for your characters, and etc. 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 And it's pretty good online, and it's overall it's just a good game actually. And if you're a Wii owner, you would want to have this game. If you would like to have this game, people, buy it. It's really good. So basically, the gameplay I give a 9.5 out of 10. The presentation, the graphics of the game, a 9 out of 10. The sound of the game, a 9 out of 10. The story of the game, a 9 out of 10. And the multiplayer game, a 9.5 out of 10, which roughly comes out to be about 9.2 out of 10 total. So basically, my final score for this game, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom on the Nintendo Wii, gets a range of about 9 to 9.5, anywhere in between that. It's a good game. If you're a fan of the fighting series, pick it up. I'm SnipingIsFun, and I'll see you guys later.